What's going on, guys? This is Damian from The Lookout, and I am here with Energy Explained in Fusion World. Yeah, so I saw that some of you are struggling with the concept of energy, with what are these two small circles, what's going on. I know this is the first card game for some of you, or maybe you're coming in from a game which doesn't have an energy system like this. So if you are confused on how energy works in Fusion World or what these two small circles are, this is the video for you. But before we begin the video, huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons. These are our $2 and up patrons. They buy us coffee, they keep this crazy content grind going. And guys, thanks a lot for your support. If you wish to join the Coffee Club, link to our Patreon is in the description below. And I think that's about everything. Roll the video! As with all of our videos, let's start with a breakdown. So we're gonna go over how energy works in Fusion World. I'm going to be breaking down the basics. I will explain to you what the specified cost is. That's the two small circles, or one, or however a card has. It's called specified cost. I will go over that. We'll talk about multicolored cards and examples of multicolored. These don't exist yet in Fusion World, but they do exist in Masters, and just like in Fusion World, they have a specified cost. So we have something to go on, and then we'll just wrap it up with a summary. Let's go! Let's start with the basics, because you need to understand the basics to understand how specified energy cost works. So in Fusion World, in order to play cards, you need to pay their cost with energy. Now, how do you get energy? You get it at the start of your turn. There's a phase called charge phase, and you get it by placing cards from your hand into the energy. You can place only one card per turn from hand into the energy, and each card can be rested to provide one energy. So how much energy can you have in total? There is no limit. Like if the game goes for 10 turns and you charge every single turn, you can have 10 energy. But you can only charge one energy per turn unless you play a card which allows you to charge more. If you have played green at any point, you will understand what I'm talking about. There are green cards which allow you to charge more energy per turn. Now, where is the energy cost? So each card has its own cost indicated with the big circle in the top left corner. You can see it over there. So 1 energy. For example, this Vados costs 1. So let's say that you want to play Vados, right? How do you pay the cost? First, you check the cost of the card in hand, of course. Then you check the number of energy in active mode. Switch the number of energy equal to the cost into rest mode, and then you can play the card. Now, I know that when it's listed like this, it's not the best to follow, so let's take a look at an example. Okay, let's start with this example. It's not the best looking, but hey, behold my Photoshop skills in full display. So anyway, we have a leader, battle area and energy area. Okay, and in this scenario, we're playing the Red Goku deck, and we wish to play this Frieza. Frieza costs free energy, and we have free in active mode. So what do we do in order to play the Frieza card? We have 3 steps to make this work. First, step 1. Check if you have the necessary energy to play Frieza. Frieza costs free. We have free energy in active mode. We can do that. If we had energy in rest mode, let's say 1 in active and 2 in rest, we couldn't do that, because we need to pay with energy in active mode by switching it to rest mode. So, step 2, we switch the free cards in our energy area from active into rest mode. When we do that, we gain energy for each one of them. So we switch all 3 of them, we gain free. And then step 3, we play Frieza into the battle area in active mode. And an extra note, because Frieza was played in active mode, we can immediately attack with him. So yeah, that's how it works. So let's just check before we move on. If you have done everything correctly, your field should now look like this. And this is before Frieza attacks, of course. One last important thing, your energy will go back into active mode at the start of your next turn. So yeah, at the start of the turn, you switch all of your energy back into active mode, and then you charge one card from your hand into your energy. Now let's talk about specified cost. The thing from the thumbnail, these small circles. What are they? We need to know. So it's basically an indicator of how many energy of a specific color do you need to pay in order to play a card. That's it. It's a concept from Masters which translated into Fusion World. For example, this Goku costs 3, right? But he has these 2 small red circles, so his specified cost is 2 red. This means that, in theory, to play the Goku you need to pay 3 energy, but 2 out of 3 need to be red. That's what this means. But is it important, especially at this stage of the game? No. And it won't be important for at least a couple of sets. It's more of a future-proofing thing. Let me explain. So, an important thing that you need to know is that each card in your energy area creates 1 energy of its own color. Yeah, so this cooler, for example, is yellow. When you switch into rest mode, he will create only a yellow energy. He can't create anything else. Same with like Barbarian is blue. So because decks in Fusion World set 1 are color locked, meaning that all cards must be of the same color as the leader, charging an off-color card is impossible. That means that if you're playing Red Starter Goku, for example, or any of the red leaders, you can only play red cards. You can't include non-red cards in the deck. So charging an off-color card is impossible. You will never see Barbarian being played in Starter Goku. However, this will change once we get multicolored leaders. Let me give you an example from Masters, because in Masters we have multicolored cards and both games are so similar that we can just kinda assume that Fusion World will more than likely work the same. So in Masters we have multicolored leaders. They're broken beyond belief, like half of them are banned or errated into unplayability, and we have multicolored cards. This Beerus, for example, so if we look at his cost, he costs 5, but he has 1 red circle and 2 yellow. So in this example, if we were to hardcast Beerus for 5 energy, we would need to pay at least 1 red, let's say like this Namekian, and 2 yellow, let's say like 2 coolers. And the last 2 energy can be of any color. They can be blue, like they can be green, doesn't matter. It just matters that the specified energy color is paid. So because the 2 games are once again so similar, we can assume that this is what's it gonna look like when multicolored leaders come into Fusion World. But for now, the specified color cost really doesn't matter. Before we wrap up the video, let's go over some last Q&A. Like, these are the questions that I thought of that you might have after watching the video, the information that we probably didn't cover already. So, just in case, here are some answers. Can you charge more than 1 energy per turn? Yes. Yes, you can, but only if a card allows you to do that. For example, look at Destructive Strength. 3 energy, activate main, add the top card of your deck to your energy. So it doesn't matter that you have already charged during your charge phase. If a card's effect tells you to do something, it always has the priority. So with Broly and Destructive Strength, or any green deck and Destructive Strength, you can really charge 1 energy at the start of the turn, then pay 3, and then charge another energy. Can I charge cards from my field into the energy? So let's say you don't want to charge from hand, but you have, I don't know, a 1-cost Gohan, green. Can you charge him into the energy? No, you can't. You can only charge cards from your hand unless a card says otherwise. Once again, Destructive Strength. It doesn't affect the field, but it affects the top of your deck. You can't even charge from the top of your deck unless a card says otherwise. And finally, Do you have to use all of your energy in one phase or in one play? No, you can spend it however you like, but you can't use more or less than the cost of a card or an effect that you're using it for. So, if Destructive Strength costs free energy, you can't use less than 3, but you also can't use 4. And you can't do, if you're coming in from Magic for example, you can't do the thing where you tap an energy to create, let's say, 1 green, and then say, oh, I'm gonna leave it for later when something else happens. You need to spend it as you play cards, but you can't spend more or less than the card that you're playing. So you always have to pay the exact cost, basically. We have 2 more questions. These are more specific, but they do touch upon something that you might encounter while playing the game. So if an opponent has a battle card in their energy and you use Big Bang Attack, can you KO the card? So Big Bang Attack says activate main, place 1 of your energy into your drop, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with a cost 5 or less and KO it. No, you can't target cards in your opponent's energy with your effect, even if they are battle cards, unless an effect says otherwise. So when an effect says KO a battle card, or return a battle card to the hand, or bottom deck it, it always checks the cards in the battle area. It doesn't matter if there's a battle card in the energy. If it's there, you can't affect it. If it said KO a battle card from your opponent's energy, then you would be able to do it. But if it says just KO a battle card, it needs to be a card from the battle area. And finally, I'm not sure that this effect exists, so consider this future-proofing. If an effect says, when a battle card is sent to the drop area, will it trigger when a player sends a battle card to the drop area with an effect like, for example, Brawl is activate main, or even Big Bang Attacks activate main, where you place 1 of your energy into a drop? So if it says when a battle card is sent to the drop area, draw 1, and you send your battle card from the energy into the drop area with an effect, right? Will the draw 1 effect trigger? It won't. These effects affect only cards in the battle area. Energy is energy, and that's it. Cards in energy area, regardless of what they are counted as energy. Before we end the video, let's quickly jump into the summary. So now you know how energy works in Fusion World. More importantly, now you finally know what specified cost is. So the process of playing and charging energy and paying with it, it's simple. As you can see, it's really simple. But I understand that it can be a bit confusing if you're coming in from games which don't have a similar energy system, or if this is like literally your first card game ever. And I'm reading your comments and I know that this is the first card game ever for some of you. So of course it can be a bit confusing when you just start off. It's okay, everyone starts somewhere. And here at the Lookout we're always happy to help you out. The big takeaway from the video is that specified cost is just future proofing for when multicolored leaders come out. That's just so that Bandai doesn't need to errata a whole bunch of cards. They can just say like, okay, now there's a red-blue Beerus leader. You can use all of red and all blue cards from set 1 until it came out, and the ones that will come out in the future. We have had this in Masters for years. A lot of our cards refer to multiple leaders, but we never got them. So it's just future proofing, it's not unusual. Finally, I gave you some Q&A, I probably haven't covered everything. So if you have any questions about this topic, feel free to leave them in the comments. I read all of your comments and I try to respond to everything in a timely manner. So if you have any question about this topic, don't worry, leave it in the comments. Either I or someone else from our community will jump in and help you out. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, what topic do you want to see next? Like, do you need help understanding how combo works, how combat works, maybe different phases of the game. Let me know in the comments below. I'm always happy to help out, and I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And guys, while you're here, hit those like and subscribe buttons, share the video, it helps other people out, and we're super close to 4K subs. At the time of me filming this video, we have like 3 left to go or so. So yeah, we're gonna hit 4K, and then I'm gonna give away a booster box. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.